Love is Blind, The Bachelorette, every influencer, your friend with an undiagnosed Hinge addiction. All anyone can talk about nowadays is how terrible the state of modern dating is, but they're ignoring all of these eligible bachelors that are waiting for someone with open arms. So I decided to do some boots on the ground journalism, speak to these bachelors slash bachelorette slash whatever this guy is, give him a chance. I was greatly endeared by him, he has a smirk that will get you too, and see who deserves the final rose. I've always had a fascination with giant roadside attractions, and maybe for also being honest, a childhood crush on Paul Bunyan because he was really tall. So today we're going to be visiting 6 giant statues and deciding who is worthy of my eternal love and affection. There are 3 main things that I'm considering when ranking and evaluating these muffler men. Number 1, style slash outfit. Are they dressing up cool for our date? Number 2, demeanor slash attitude. Are they treating me correctly? Are they perhaps picking a really busy road for our date and then we can't really have a conversation? And number 3, are they actually holding something? Because the original purpose of a muffler man was to be holding something, and yet a lot of these muffler men, a lot of these men don't want to work anymore. They don't want to hold their little muffler or their little tire that, even though that's their one purpose in life, can't even do that. So it doesn't really bode well for the future of your relationship when you ask them to take out the trash and they make 10,000 excuses. So the very first one that I met with was Cowboy Muffler Man. Hi! Now he was cool, he was suave, he had a very cohesive outfit. He's pretty cool. He's got some pretty big feet, if we're being honest. Unfortunately, a point against him because he wasn't holding anything, but he did have something strapped to his waist that showed that he could protect me in an old-timey duel. And ever since watching Hamilton and being obsessed with the Wild Wild West as a child, I have always lived in fear that I would end up in an old-timey duel. So this is very important. He had very huggable legs, which was very important. He did choose to have our date on a very busy road, which was a little bit inconsiderate of him. Cars kept going by. It was hard to have a conversation and talk. And he was a little stoic, which is okay. That's what some people want, but personally I like a little more whimsy in my life. But he was a cowboy. He knew his purpose, which was very attractive. Now, number 2, if you're looking for whimsy, this guy's got it up to 10. There was a little bit of a hitch in the beginning where he told me the wrong location for our original date. Absolutely devastating news. The muffler man was either turned into a Chick-fil-A or a storage unit. Maybe they keep him in the storage unit and harvest his meat for the Chick-fil-A. That's my current running theory. He was one of my top contenders, if I'm being really honest. He was an OG. He at one point in his life had held a real muffler. I'm gonna get out of the car and investigate a little bit further, but I think he might be gone. There's been a breakthrough in the case of the missing muffler man. I went back on Roadside America. Address that they gave is not the same address as the name of the company that he supposedly sits outside of, which is a mile down the road. Back on the road, we're investigating. We're gonna find him. Turn left. But once he was cleared up, sparks flew instantly. Hi! He's kind of awesome. I really like his outfit a lot. Who else can pull off orange shirt, red pants, boat hat, and is holding, this is very important, an OG muffler? Not only is he holding something, he's holding an OG muffler, which is like so cool. His namesake. It shows that he can really get stuff done, and that's very important. He did also choose a busy road and the whole location, but I think there was like a mix-up with the restaurant reservation, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to let it pass just because once we got going, it was awesome. How's it going? Look at him! He's so snazzy! Now, number 3 was Nitro Girl, and I was really rooting for her because she was the only female muffler man. There's still sexism even within the muffler man community, which is kind of devastating. My biggest thing about her, I don't mean to judge, she might have some sort of disability, but she wouldn't show me her feet. And that sounds weird. Not that I want to see her feet. It's more that her body started at the ankle. I'm a little bit concerned about her lack of feet, and either she was piling gravel on her feet before our date, or I don't know. It's a weird foot to start the date off. Not to make a stupid pun. I felt like maybe she was trying to hide something from me. And it made me worry that she had those weird pointed feet when someone's second or middle toe is their biggest toe, and then they have created this whole need in the fashion industry for those stupid pointy toe shoes, and then people with normal feet like me can't actually find shoes that fit. It's a gripe I have. However, I will admit I also don't have normal feet. I have giant clown feet. And when I was 12, I grew 3 sizes in one summer, and now I have to buy men's shoes. So maybe if she could just be more upfront and honest with me, I could have understood where she was coming from, but she didn't want to do that. But her outfit is very cool. Her hand pose is a little bit different than the other muffler men. They're usually like this. She was holding something, so big props to her because that's one of the most important categories. However, she's very beautiful, but I feel like she could be holding a bigger tire, not to Not to insult her, but maybe a monster truck. I feel like in comparison to some of the other muffler men that are holding things, she chose like a weirdly small tire proportionately for the size of her body. You know those people that like do something half-assed and are like, look at this amazing thing that I did for you, aren't you so grateful for crumbs? I was worried that maybe that would be her vibe. Now, number 4, this was Mr. Bill. So this is one of the only muffler men in this video with a name. This is Mr. Bill. I really wanted to like Mr. Bill, but he showed up a little bit dirty and damaged, like he hadn't felt the need to get prim and proper for our date, which I really didn't appreciate. There's also a giant spider web in one of his hands, which freaks me out a little bit. He injured his knee somewhere. He also was not holding anything, which as we know does not bode well. His hat is certainly something. I don't know if this reference is correct, and I will not be looking it up, but I think he's kind of dressed like Luffy from One Piece. I could be wrong. I will not be researching this. His face is... Say what you will about him, I think he's got a kind smile. And there's this phrase that I've heard before called a face only a mother could love. And I'm not saying that specifically applies to him, it's just a phrase I'm putting out into the ether to think about. Now, number 5 was the bad boy, the dark horse in the race. This was Mr. Raisin Man. And you might be saying, Clara, what is wrong with you? But that smirk got to me. He was like, I don't know. There's something to him. However, a couple red flags to him, as there usually are with bad boys, unfortunately. Number 1, he was holding something, which was an ice cream cone. However, his hand was painted onto the ice cream cone, which makes me feel like he's gonna be trying to deceive me more often than not. He also, and this is not to body shame, I know that we are not supposed to do that. I have never seen knobbier knees in my life. I think I need men with a little more meat on their bones. And it seems like all of the meat was concentrated in his face, which is okay. He had a beautiful smirking smile and a cool hat, so outfit points, but parts of his body made me a little bit uncomfortable, and maybe that's a me problem. Now, number 6 was another one of my favorites, Pirate Muffler Man. And now many points to him. He's got cool earrings. He's got a cool outfit on. He is holding something. It's a giant sword. However, maybe I made him nervous. Maybe he was really shy, but he's unfortunately, he's looking down like this and one of his eyes is already covered. I think eye contact is very important. He's coming off a little bit shy. And number 2, I felt as if we had some distance between us. And I don't know if he was just nervous or if it's because he was inside a golf course on the beach in December and so it was closed. It could be, there's many things that it could be, but we struggled to have a real and true connection because there was some sort of confusing barrier. He's playing hard to get, but he's also shy. It's sort of a hot and a cold situation that I don't really appreciate, but he does have a cool jacket, so style points for sure. All 6 of these bachelors, Bachelorette, Raisin Man have pros, they have cons, but the one, drumroll please, getting my final rose, the OG Muffler Man. He's just so cool. Look at his outfit.